Hello, this is Uncle Jim. Today we're going to shoot some really light bullets in the 10 millimeter. This is the Lee 401 145 mold, truncated cone. And previously the cats made these up for me. I had some soft lead left in the pot, then I used wheel weight ingots, and right now, today, they're 13 BHN. A little softer than I thought, but it'll be fine. They'll probably gain a little hardness sitting around a week or two. So Chris 338 wanted me to try 9 grains of long shot. According to the Spear manual, they had a 150 or something like that, similar load. It's within reason, so I'm going to do it. All right. So we'll chronograph, and maybe I'll try and shoot a group and see how they do. Usually I'll let the bullets sit a week or two first, but these are fresh out of the pot. All right. Okay, so we're doing 9 grains with Winchester large pistol primers for both regular and Magnum. Using the Lyman powder measure. All right, good to go. There's the case fill. These are non-trim brass. I didn't prep them or anything. Okay, so I'm marking my first shell because I'm not making a dummy round, and I want to figure out the overall length in the plunk test, and I might have to crimp it and seat it lower and crimp it, so I'll shoot that one first. It's just going to save me making a dummy round. All right. It's a cute little monkey. Ooh. What the heck? Went a little too far there. Let's see what we got. Looks like we're going to have to get the kinetic puller out and knock her back out there. 1.2235. And I can tell this is like my favorite 45 bullet. You leave a little space. So, all right, let's crimp this. And ooh, I could feel it. Okay, I'm using the Lee factory crimp die now, and it irons it out a little bit. All right, I'm just taking that crimp off. Let's see what our crimp's doing. I got 4225, and then we get up to where the crimp is, 423. Okay. Glock barrel. No problem. Okay, now the tighter chamber Alpha Wolf barrel, which I'll be using. Not bad, but it is touching that, and that's because that little lip there is 401, and it's touching the throat already. All right, let's go a little lower because I'm going to be using that barrel. Let me back this out of here. I'm just going to give it just a see if we moved it at all. Yeah, we did. 1.2175. That looks like we're feeding brass. 1.218. So it's an ojivey little guy because of the lip. Crimp it. It's a light crimp for now. Man, I didn't think this bullet would be an ojivey little monkey. Yeah, it's touching. Gosh darn it. Wow. Who would have thunk? All right. Well, that's what you got to do sometimes. I'm going to bring that lip right up to the edge of the brass. That is very unlike the 45. .215, maybe 1.2145. Oh my gosh, that barrel is picky. I can still feel it. It's not going to drop. And then again, the Glock barrel. Hell, I could go a lot further with that sucker. I don't want to go much further than that. That's crazy. We got volume. It's a light bullet. All right. I don't know if they're going to feed like this. .2085. Wow. Let me give it a little better crimp. And let me check the crimp again. Okay, the crimp is exactly like where the bullet is on the shell. Man. Perfect. However, that is like feeding brass. Now I have some really old target loads, clean bore, Remington and stuff in 45, same deal. They're all the way down to the rim pretty much. Let's see if they feed. I'll load them that way. That's crazy. All right, for this barrel, which has no problem with the big old, other molds, 180 grains. Oh well, all right. Okay, not off to a good start. I hope these feed because they're awful short. Now here's some factory match ammo from the 70s. And they're two different kinds. You can see it's kind of the same deal. You're almost feeding brass. And sometimes that could be an issue with some guns. So we're going to have to see what happens there. All right, so the first one I crimped and lowered, so keep that in mind on the chronograph and the target. The last one is a little short. These are all 1.208 consistent, but this one is 1.205. A little shorter overall length, a little hair less volume. Keep that in mind. So first shot and last shot on the chronograph could be different. Okay, so normally I'd make up some dummy rounds, but I don't have the time, so to see if they cycle and all that. So we're just going to do this live. But this aftermarket barrel is definitely tighter. It's not liking the meat on the edge of the bullet here. I could try sizing these to, these are 401 diameter. I could, size them 4005 and see if that makes a huge difference. The Glock barrel doesn't care. It will run stuff that doesn't even fit in the gauge, so. All right, we'll give this a try, see if they feed. Normally I'll do dummy rounds, but we're just gonna do this live. All right. Okay, we're going to be using the Glock 40 10mm 6-inch barrel long slide, Holosun 6 MOA dot. Pretty much all stock except for the barrel swap I did in here for reloads. A lot of people say you have to do upgrades to Glocks. I call those downgrades. The more you mess with them, the less reliable they can be. I actually love this gun. It's one of the softest shooting 10 millimeters I've ever owned, and I've owned a lot of them, maybe 8 or so, maybe more. Okay, so the first round is the one that was crimped and lowered, crimped and lowered. This last round is going to be the one that's a little shorter than the rest. Okay, we're probably going to have feeding problems. And maybe I'll put in some cowbell for 10 man. All right, let's see what happens. Break that window. Chrono, but I think it's picking up. Break a window. All right, that one went a little low left. You go, girl. That one's center high. They're feeding though. Break a window. Yeah. Low left, just a hair. I'm surprised they're feeding. Okay, that's the top of the bowl. All right. Interesting. Didn't group all that great, but I think we have chrono numbers. I should have used the Glock barrel and just loaded them longer, but whatever. They fed. I couldn't believe that. Well, I was hoping for about 15. And let's review this. 1494, 1473, 1486, 1478, high 1494, low 1473. And let's see, we had a bullet that was shorter. Average 1482, spread 21. That's not good, but you know. Standard D 8. Well, that ain't okay, not bad. Okay, so I was dancing around. It leaves beautiful square hole, round holes. But I was dancing. Okay, so the primers look fine, and they only ejected a few feet with the lighter bullet, so that's good. I didn't achieve the 1500 feet per second I was hoping for at my altitude with the 6-inch barrel, but I can bump it up a notch. The primers look fine. This is the one that was crimped and seated a few times. This is the one that was shorter than the rest. We still got a standard D of 8, so that's okay. The problem was the guy behind the trigger. I was all over the place, and I even had the nose rested on a block. It wasn't a good rest, but still, that was terrible. So we'll have to work on that. But I'm thinking maybe I'll do a video with the Glock barrel loaded longer with a stiffer charge and see if we get to 1550 or so. And it was fun. The brass only ejected a few feet, and the great thing about this gun is it ejects to the right and behind. So if you're at an indoor range or something like that, you can recover your brass. I do like that, instead of going straight to the right like a lot of 1911s I've had in 10 millimeter. So that's good. And with this tighter chamber, the brass hardly moves at all. So it's not expanding. So that's kind of what I got it for, that in the rifling for lead. There is no lead fouling in the barrel. It's clean, so that's good. And these bullets haven't, you know, fully cured yet. Set around for a couple weeks, and they were only 13 BHN. So I don't know. The shooter was terrible today, so what can I say? You know, that was over 20 yards, and I had the nose rested on a block, and that was just terrible trigger control today, but that's what you get with me. We'll have better days. Until next time, I hope you found this interesting. Chris338. Even KFW might appreciate this video, I don't know. Until next time, thanks for watching.